Morning, everyone. Mitch from Pick Dogs here with Chris and Ron. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, November 20th, 2024, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We moved the show to 11 o'clock so we could get it out promptly. Yeah, it's working out real well. 2 days in, 11:15. Talk Wednesday with Ron. Ron, how's it going?
Good morning, Mitch. It's going good. Hawk Wednesday. Those Hawks might be off the do not bet list pretty soon if they keep it up.
Well, do you have the so does the Hawks include the other Hawks, like the Lehigh Hawks or the Monmouth Hawks, or it's just the Atlanta Hawks? Or are you looking for that magical Hawks parlay, all Hawks all day?
Well, for me, I like all Hawks, but it's up to Mr. Ruffalo what he thinks.
I'm a chicken hawk. Chris?
Those Atlanta Hawks will never be off the do not bet list. Let's get one thing straight. But no, you know what? They have been playing better, so we'll see if they can earn their way off. But decent card today of action today. Some college hoops. We're still waiting for the good college ball to kick into gear. But I'll tell you, last night the action actually held its own a little bit. There were some decent matchups last night.
Yeah, it's I didn't watch too much of that. I watched, some of the college hoops. I really thought Canisius did a nice job game planning out there. I thought the effort in the first half to get that, they were at 11 for a while, to get that 14th point on the board before the buzzer sounded for the end of the first half. It just showed guts, grit, determination. They're just a scrappy team.
And you know what? When that shot went in, I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a backbreaker. That's going to completely turn the momentum. They're going to get right back into this game." And
there was a couple. Just smashings last night. I was on the right side of a couple beatdowns for a very rare occasion, man. That happened. The thing is, I was on the right side of that Ohio State game, and I was frustrated in the first half. So I'm going to guess that they really beat them up in the second half. I just refused to watch.
Yeah, they ended on a 28-3 run.
Yeah, it was. That's what we needed. And the game, of the games that I hit yesterday, the one I'm most proud of was betting Mike White for the first time in 4 years and coming out on the right side. I see Alabama A&M 26. Even Mike White,
Those Georgia Bulldogs, they're a team to watch out for.
Mike White. Any idea where Jay is? I've not heard from him. What? Jam session's up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, the one that got me yesterday was the Penn Quakers. The one time that Villanova decides that they're going to show up and end the first half on a 17-0 run when it was tied at 26, and then I blink and 93-49 the final.
We got some giant line moves today, already. It just seems that to me when we're watching the line moves of these games that I'm, you rarely talk about me. You talk about the line moves and stuff. College basketball is really the one sport where you got to watch it because they'll move 5-6 points. And college basketball is also a backbreaker sport where the last second meaningless three will kill you. So, that point and a half, it matters even if it's up there in the 25s. It matters. And, it seems to me that most of the line movement so far this season has been heavy points to the favorite, almost across the board. You're seeing 10s become 13s, 10s become 12 and a halves, seeing, 13s become 16s. And it is.
For me, I notice it, even when we do our videos, I'll get it at 21 when I'm recording the video. And by the time it's posted, and 11 o'clock later that night or something, or 11:30, it's already at 24 and a half.
Yeah, it's just crazy, this
is some of the most volatile line movement I've seen of any college basketball season so far.
Absolutely, because I think that what's happened is that you have more people in the betting markets these days. You've had the rule changes a couple of years ago, and then so you have a lot of people using similar systems. So a lot of people banging the line before the books can adjust. And then, if the book, books can adjust, they get to the other side aggressively, and that's exactly what we're seeing is like very, very aggressive moves. Even the sharp books like Pinnacle and Bet Chris are doing that. Same thing, Circa as well. A couple of the other books lag behind, and they're getting probably busted up pretty badly in some of these cases.
I also think a small detail to think about is with all the overs we've had this season and the totals being as high as they are, there's more possessions, it's faster games, and we're seeing if these 20, 25-point favorites are getting more possessions, they're usually going to be able to win those possessions, and that's why I think a lot of these spreads are on the move. It's going to take – I think when we get to conference play, we'll see the lines sharpen up a little bit, tighten up a little bit. But right now, yeah, it's super volatile.
Yeah, I had one the other day where, there was a sharp line move like that, and it really didn't matter. It ended on I ended up on the wrong side. I got a good number. The number got, it might have gotten better or worse. I don't know, but it definitely moved. And it was Arkansas, where it really didn't matter. It didn't matter where you were on either side. It was like if you had the other side, you won. It really didn't matter, And we've had a bunch of those. I had Cleveland State yesterday. It was the same thing. They would have covered anywhere, and Wagner as well. Those of you that don't know this, my dog of the day video that I did for 14 years at Sports Chat Place, and I've done it before at Pick Dogs, is now an email exclusive. So if you go to pickdogs.com, sign up for our email every day at around 4:00 in the afternoon. We're sending out the dog of the day via email. You can only get the link each day via email. So if you want dog of the day, it's 100% free. But it's a different pick than I'm doing anywhere else, and it's only going out in the email list. So if you sign up for our email over at Pick Dogs, go ahead and grab it. We had a winner yesterday outright on our dog of the day with Wagner knocking off Boston University in that game of the night. A lot of people thought it was Celtics Cavs, but really the insiders were all on the Boston U Wagner game. All eyes were on that contest. Wagner was a tournament team last year. People forget that. They were in. Beat Howard playing. Chris is like, let me see if I can recall.
You can call them the Franz and Moes or something like that.
They lost to the Wagners. They lost to Carolina. Yeah. Yeah. So Marquette, I left off. I don't. That was one where the line was moving like crazy, and I left it off. And I don't know what I was thinking. I guess it just seemed that it was getting too big. I mean, I see a couple like that today too, but I don't know. College basketball, it can get to be one of those ones that you just try and manage it the best that you can. You're going to miss a bunch that you would have hit, you're just gonna, and you're going to, probably leave a couple off that you would have lost, but it never feels like it's more. Right? It always feels like more the other way around. Anyways, we got any hockey today, Chris?
Yeah, 5 games.
All right. So anything interesting on this board today? What do we got? We've got the Flyers against the Canes, Canes. Canes. We've got Toronto versus Vegas. We got the Dallas Star versus the Sharks. We got Smoking Kraken versus the Preds, and the Kings versus the Sabres. What are you thinking?
I think there's a shot that if there's ever a time I want to take a shot on a plus 375 dog, like the Sharks might be today. The Sharks have been playing more competitive hockey, even though they haven't necessarily been winning games. Head-to-head between these two, 3 of the last 4, actually 4 of the last 5 have seen that the Sharks cover the plus 1.5. So I think that it's we're taking a shot on some value. Maybe take the plus 1.5 with the Sharks and the money line plus 375. And I'll take the Kraken at home against the Predators. The Predators still on my do not bet list for the NHL. So give me the Seattle Kraken.
For me, I'll just put a half unit on Dallas Stars reverse puck line plus the 1.5 at minus 900. Good value there. Yeah, nothing for me in hockey.
I'm going to take the Predators here. I'm going to just pure betting tools play. Really nothing else to say about that one. Let's go to college hoops, though, while we're here. Got a nice card, and tomorrow starts tournament action in college hoops. So those of you that watch our videos, the way we generally cover the tournaments is if the line is out the night before, or we can get the video out in a reasonable amount of time following the conclusion of a game, we get it out the night before. But if not, first thing in the morning, for that second round. And I mean, like that Bahamas tournament, there's only 4 teams. What an awesome tournament, right? Virginia, Tennessee. Wasn't it Virginia, Tennessee, Baylor, I think? Yeah.
Baylor.
Virginia, Tennessee, Baylor, and St. John's. So it's St. John's, Baylor is the opener, and then Tennessee, Virginia. And even without Tony Bennett, Virginia's still only giving up 3 points a game. I think that Tennessee, Virginia could be the first to 20. I mean, it is like you got just lockdown defenses in that thing. And then you got a lot of good games, just a lot. Miami's playing in they seem to be in that Charleston tournament an awful lot. I don't know why that is. The River Division of the Greenbrier tip-off. Pitt, Wisconsin, LSU, Charleston Southern, Tennessee Tech, and VMI. The Keytats. Maui Invitational. So is the Maui Fort Myers and the Maui are both that same week. So it's not Thanksgiving Day. It's just before. And then the Fort Myers tip-off, Michigan, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Xavier, Jacksonville, Mercer, Miami, Ohio, and Siena, who sucks. Siena sucks. Terrible. Cancun. They're going to Cancun. It's only freaking November. So the Paradise Jam, that is usually over Thanksgiving. Nice crowd for that one. Zona, Davidson, Zags, Indiana, Louisville, Oklahoma, Providence, West Virginia. Battle for Atlantis. Or as they call it in Canada, the Battle for Atlantis.
Translation.
This one sounds like a Mickey Mouse event. Florida, Minnesota, Wake, and Wichita State. Anyways, tonight we've got Fisher College up against UMass Lowell. Yeah, I've been to Lowell on acid. Got Mitchell College. Citadel taking on Charleston. Xavier against Siena. Stony Brook versus Yale. Furman taking on Oglethorpe. What logo did they use for Oglethorpe?
They don't even get one.
It actually is Oglethorpe's logo. Lehigh versus, these are all bad like that. Northern Illinois versus the Teslas. We've got North Carolina A&T versus Morgan State. Penn State versus PFW Changs. Got Rhode Island versus Lafayette. Western Mich, South Dakota. Morehead State versus Austin P. Vatech versus Jacksonville. West Virginia versus Iona. Army versus Fairly Disinterested. Richmond versus Maine. LIU versus Columbia. Kennesaw State versus Abilene. How long does this slot go? Dayton versus New Mexico State. Ball State versus Detroit Mercy. George Mason versus Coppin State. Chris, anything in this slot?
Boy. Give me Austin P against Morehead State. Morehead State team is still really, really struggling offensively. I think they haven't hit more than 62 points in a Division I game this season. They've lost each of their games so far by 14 points. Granted, 2 of those games came against Cincinnati and Louisville, but it's not like Austin P isn't battle tested either. The road win over Butler, they lost big to Tennessee. I think that right now Austin P is just in better form, so only laying a 1.5. I might just take them on the money line. This Morehead State team is just clearly missing guys like Riley Minix that are no longer with the program. So give me Austin P in that one. And give me Penn State against PFW Changs. Penn State's just on a roll right now, and they've just been beating up on lesser teams so far this season. Wins by 22, 30, 49, and 42. And PFW Changs has played, UCF on the road. They have wins over Southern Indiana and Bethune-Cookman at home. I think it's going to be a tough test on the road for them. I think Penn State gets the job done. So give me the Nittany Lions.
The problem with, 15 minutes after playing PFW Changs, you feel
like
playing
sleep.
Another,
you got to go to sleep.
Feel like playing another game.
Yeah.
Playing another PFW Changs. Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Stony Brook plus the points against Yale. I'm just not big on Yale this season. I think they're nowhere near as good a team as they were last year and years prior. I wouldn't want to be laying this many points on the road. Stony Brook's been inconsistent. They've got the nice win over Central Michigan, but got crushed against Marquette and George Mason. But I'm big on both of those teams. So while those blowout losses aren't great, I still think those are 2 really solid teams this year. So I think Stony Brook bounces back from that George Mason loss, covers the spread, and potentially wins this game outright over Yale as a little upset win. I'd lean towards Virginia Tech. I'm just not big on Jacksonville either this year, and that line is just on the move. I think the Hokies are going to have a tough season, a lean year in the ACC, but this is the type of matchup I think they can get a blowout win. And so I'd lay the points there. Richmond has been tough to watch this year, 0-3 against the spread, and they've lost some bad ones. But I do think because of those losses, we're actually getting a pretty good price for the Spiders. Chris Mooney's still a great head coach, and I think the Spiders figure it out and win this game by double digits. So I'll lay the points with Richmond.
I'm a little more confident in Virginia Tech than Ron is. I think that, the post Padula Couture era certainly is, just a different direction for this team. And I think it's the right direction. Jacksonville's not a very good team either. So I think it's a good get right spot here for Virginia Tech. It's these are the must win games for them. Kind of leaning South Dakota against Western Mich. South Dakota at 4-1 on the season, but you kind of always have to watch out with these 4-1s this earlier in the season because they've had these online games in there that they count as wins. They should not count as anything but exhibitions. It's kind of like I think in Division I basketball they should only count, but Western Mich has actually played the much tougher schedule. But don't let that win over Canisius fool you. We saw the Golden Griffins last night in action, and I don't know if they should be an online game or not, but they've also played an online game this season as well. And that loss to Coastal Carolina, nothing pretty about that. So I like South Dakota in this one, the Coyotes. But mostly, I just don't think this is a great slot, not really the best slot of the week. New Mexico State, a little bit attractive there, plus 16 against Dayton, a little bit. Nicholls State against Towson, Texas A&M against Southern, Rutgers against Merrimack, the other Warriors, Tulsa against Little Rock. I've done so much acid at Merrimack, I don't even remember how much. Tulsa against Little Rock, South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, up against Southern Miss, Jackson State visiting WKU, Murray State, home of the best Club Med on the planet, up against Maryland Eastern Shore. I always go to Murray State for vacation. That's where you'll be spending the All-Star break this year. 3 days at the Club Med Murray State. Georgetown versus MSM. It's Mount St. Mary's. Arizona State versus Cal Poly SLO. We're going to continue on? Or you want to stop there?
Let's finish out the card.
Let's finish out the card. Grand Canyon versus UC Mike Davis. Alabama versus Illinois. Got Gonzaga versus What Up Beaches. Got St. Mary's versus Stanislaus State. Didn't see that one on the board. Got Fresno State against Prairie View A&M. Got UNLV versus Pepperdine. SoCal USC up against San Jose State, trying to bounce back from that Cal embarrassment. I mean, that was just the score was only 5 points, but it was a beating. I mean, it was a flogging. UCSB against El Paso. I mean, how is Cal getting 10 points in that game? UCSB against UTEP. Stanford versus Norfolk State. The Spartans. Cal Baptist versus Northern Colorado. UCLA against that scrappy Idaho State bunch. Ron, any meat on the bone here in the late slot?
Yeah, I think this is a much better side of the card, and I like UCLA against those scrappy Bengals. Idaho State's 4-0 against the spread, but UCLA is 3-0 against the spread in their home games as a big favorite. They've won these against inferior opponents. They've just blown them out, like 40-plus point wins. So I don't know if it's going to get that ugly, but I think UCLA is the much better team there, and they win that game by 30-plus. I like USC to bounce back and cover the spread against San Jose State. Mitch knows I'm not a big Tim Miles guy, and I think he's got his worst team in quite a while. So I think the Spartans are in trouble there. I like a lean towards UNLV against Pepperdine. They've been struggling against the number, but I still like this UNLV team, and the offense I think gets really going. This one puts up 80-plus points. I also like Alabama. The line's gotten a little bit away from, I mean, what did it open at? Like 5.5, 6.5. Now it's up to 8.5. I still think it's a 10-point win for Bama. It's just Illinois, very talented team, but super inexperienced. And we saw what that inexperience looks like on the road for Purdue against Marquette. I think we see a similar result where it's just a wire-to-wire win for Alabama, looking to bounce back from their last loss. So
you think the Purdue talent stacks up with Illinois?
I do. Yeah. I mean, Purdue's
Really?
got a star-studded backcourt. They've still got the championship run pedigree with a few returning players. But, I mean, Illinois is super freshman heavy. I mean, it's a very talented team.
But they got one and dones, man, on this
They
team.
sure do, but so did Kentucky, and they got bounced against Oakland. I just think these neutral site and true road games, this is where you get crushed with a young team. I think eventually they'll be able to compete, but it's going to take a few of these to get going against Alabama with that pace of play. And I know it's not a true home game, but it's still Alabama can go on big scoring runs. And for a young team like Illinois, I think they're in trouble.
Illinois for me in that one.
I like Tulsa laying the points. Again, the line's kind of gotten a little bit away from the original number, but I still think Tulsa really improved offense. I mean, the last couple of years, they've been dreadful offensively, but they're doing a much better job this season. And I think they continue to improve and bounce back from that overtime loss against Missouri State. So I'll lay the points. Also a revenge game for Tulsa. They lost to Little Rock last year.
I like the Zags to knock off Long Beach State in this transitional year for the Beach. Whole, revamping of the program there. So you got to break it down and build it up. I like Grand Canyon against UC Mike Davis. I think that I think it's gotten a little bit, the line's starting to move again on this thing. So it's a little heavy to the Grand Canyon side, but I'm going to roll with them in this spot. I like Cal Poly SLO too against Arizona State. I think Arizona State has played really well this season, but I think that people are discounting Cal Poly SLO because they were so bad last year. But they beat Eastern Washington as a 5-point dog outright, beat Seattle as a 4.5-point dog outright, covered against San Francisco very easily, getting 21 in that game. They've played well in the underdog spot at UC San Diego, once again, getting a boatload of points. That was last year. But, I mean, looking at they've been an underdog in every single game, and they've performed really, really well. And Arizona State, I think the expectations were low coming in, and that win over Grand Canyon, the win over or the narrow loss to Gonzaga, the beatdown of Santa Clara, and Idaho State, who's, pretty much giving everybody problems. But the thing is that I think Arizona State, maybe everyone's getting just a little bit ahead of themselves on this thing. Just because at the end of the day, you still got a shitbag head coach. I mean, a real loser, So, speaking of real losers, Chris, who do you like in this slot?
Wow, I was wondering how that was going to transition over, and it hit me square in the face. But I'm gonna go with Alabama as well.
You want me to try again?
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I'm good. I'm good with one. I'm good.
We could try again. We could go with something else.
It's
go with
it's
a different
perfectly
transition.
fine.
There's plenty others to go with here.
No. Yeah, I like Alabama as well. Like Ron said, this is just a very green Illinois team. First true road game in the non-conference. In Illinois, I mean, they haven't really been tested. Games against Oakland, SIU, Edwardsville, and Eastern Illinois. Probably not going to get you ready for this game. Alabama, yeah, they've had a couple of, I would say, un-Alabama-like performances compared to what we've seen from this team. I mean, the loss to Purdue and 72-64 win over McNeese is a big favorite. Even nearly getting by Arkansas State, but I think it's a statement performance for Alabama. Even though it's not a true home game for Alabama, I think it's still enough of a victory to get the cover in this one. So give me Bama. I'm gonna take UC Davis in the points. I think Grand Canyon favored, rightfully so. I think they win this one probably comfortably, but 17 for me feels like a little bit much. They were laying 12.5 and 18 against Western Kentucky and Cal State Fullerton earlier this year and only won by 2 and 10. So I think UC Davis can keep this one 12, 13 points. So give me UC Davis in the points.
All right. Anything on the St. Mary's Stanislaus State?
I'm impressed that Stanislaus State was able to earn the Colorado State logo.
Sweet. We got Maction. It is Holy Toledo up against Ohio and Eastern Michigan's Buffalo in a line mover. Ron, anything?
Eastern Michigan for me. I'm just disappointed about Western Michigan yesterday. Their loss clinched my over 6.5 win ticket to be a loser. They were looking pretty good, and that 3-game losing streak breaks my heart. But I do think when I watched Eastern Michigan at the beginning of the season, I thought they were really a lot better than expected, and then they just went on a bad run. I still think they're quite talented offensively, and I don't think Buffalo's anything special. So, the MAC has been really weird to predict this year, but I think Eastern Michigan snaps that losing streak and picks up a win here against Buffalo. They need one more win to be bowl eligible, and I don't think they get it next week. So this is their most realistic shot.
Chris, anything in Maction?
Nothing for me today. I really don't like either one of these games, to be 100% honest. I didn't do the video for either one of these, and thankfully that was the case because I couldn't find anything here, to be honest.
All right, I like Ohio in that one against Toledo for sure. Ohio's like a traditional 10-win team almost every single season. And they might not get there this year, but they're going somewhere. Where that is, I don't know. In Eastern Mich, I generally like them as a dog. So not really where I want to be either. Jay is here. Jay, anything in hockey, college hoops, or college football? You missed all of them.
Man, what's happening, fellas? Y'all never believe what happened.
Well, we would believe it, but go ahead and try us.
Posted the jam session, right? And I was like, all right. I'm going to just sit here on the couch.
No sound?
No, I said I'm just going to sit here on the couch for a hot second. Next thing I know, I'm waking up and I'm 30 minutes late for the show. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, man. Got caught in a little mini nap, man. That's what happened, honestly.
It happens.
Happens, man. Let me see. No college hoops today. I mean, no college football today. Neither one of them games excite me. College basketball. Let me slide through the card right quick. Duquesne got their ass whooped yesterday. Her ass. Nothing that really just completely jumps off the page to me today in college hoops. UNLV probably gonna blow the doors off of Pepperdine. That's what that line seems to indicate at 16.5.
I like Pepperdine in that one. Romanelli was with you on that one, but I like the Wave, man. I do.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
No, I do. I think the bottom half of the WCC is on the rise. You got to raise the floor a little bit.
I think that makes sense, but what about UNLV can't be on the rise?
You see Pacific hit that garbage 3 against Arkansas to cover the spread. I mean, this is the sign of things to come. You think Kevin Kruger is going to now coach a paper bag? Who would you take, Kevin Kruger or Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah.
Give me Deerfield Beach product, Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
The Antelopes big favorites today, 16.5. Oh shit. I'm gonna rock with them. This step down in competition from what they've been playing. I mean, I don't know. Hold on, never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone. I want to go Grand Canyon, but like I can't really validate it just looking at who they played and who the Grand Canyon has played. 16.5 is a big number. UC Davis ain't been blown out this year. They lost about 14 to Stanford, but only 6 to Washington. I don't know. I'll leave that alone. So I'll just rock with the one. That's all I really like in college hoops today.
I like Grand
Canyon. Go back to bed.
Yeah, I like Grand Canyon now, and I think UC Mike Davis is getting a little bit too much love for my taste in this one.
I mean, I kind of feel like that, Mitch, but that's a lot of lumber. That's a lot.
It won't be a lot of lumber when they win by 30.
They're winning by 10 at best.
No, it's going to be an absolute blowout winner. It's going to be ugly.
Grand Canyon doesn't know how to count to 30 to win by 30.
Hey. You watch it. But trust me, that's not a fan base you want to go after.
I'm with the Antelopes. I'm usually with them boys.
I'm usually with them too, but 17's a lot.
That's a lot.
It should be 25.
No, it shouldn't.
Where I'm against Romanelli.
We just doing a breathalyzer before we go live.
It's going to be an ugly one.
Tomorrow we got a great card of college basketball, so I'm excited for that. A lot of those tournament games, we got early action starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so we won't get to that one on the show, so I'll have to watch the video. UIC versus JMU. And then we have a 12 o'clock game between Drake and Miami. That's a rematch of a tournament game from 2 years ago. And then we have Middle Tennessee versus Ohio. Those games are at noon. So if we have an 11 o'clock start on this show, we might get to those by then. There'll be some whining in the comments. This game starts and then. All right. NBA. We got the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the one-loss Cavaliers, up against the Pelicans. Jay taking those points with the Cavs yesterday, getting the win. Jay, you're up. What do you think? Bucks, Bulls, Cavs, Pels.
I'm just gonna stick to the mantra that's gotten us here. Cavs, solid ATS team. They failed to win yesterday. They did get a cover. Pelicans, they're on the DNB. They're severely banged up. I know the Cavs are on the back end of a back-to-back with travel, but so are the Pelicans. And the Pelicans got absolutely taken behind that shed yesterday. They got their doors blown off by the Mavs. And I think something similar is in line for them here today. Not overcomplicating. I'll lay it with Cleveland. And the Bulls, man, I'm on the Bulls. They've been a decent ATS road team. I think they're 500. But ultimately, when I look at this game, all I see is a 50-50 game. Like, I take the spreads out of it. Just look at who these two teams have been thus far this season. You take the names off the jerseys. This is a 50-50 game. So in that case, all the values on Chicago. There's a ton of value on that plus 280. We've already seen them beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee this season. Milwaukee's a fade until further notice. I like Chicago plus the points.
Yeah, the Bulls, they beat the Bucks badly earlier this season in Milwaukee, so a little bit of revenge in this one, but I still don't see the path. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't let the win over the Pistons fool you. They're still the Milwaukee Bucks, man. They lost 143-107. Oh, that's the Bulls. Sorry, looking at the wrong team. They beat the Rockets 101-100. Same team that beat the Bulls by 43. Oh, that'll change it. They've won 3 of their last 4. The Bucks. Yeah, I'm still on the Bulls. I don't give a shit. Hate the Bucks. It's personal. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans against the Cavs. I think everyone's gonna be like, they lost. They're gonna be mad. Pelicans suck. Bullshit. Taking the Pelicans. Who do you like, Chris? Pelicans.
I lean towards the Cavs in that game, but I think I like the Bulls much better. Like you guys have said, the Bucks are just on the do not bet list. I mean, this is a team that continues to get respect and continues to let people down. The Bulls 4-1 against a number in their last 5 meetings with the Bucks in Milwaukee. Think 8's just too many. So give me the Bulls and the points.
I'm going to go with the Bucks. Revenge game for Milwaukee. They lost outright to Chicago the first meeting. I don't love the Bucks in terms of their current form, but I still think that they're the much better team in this one. So, I mean, if this was – what was the first line in this season series? Let's see. I think I had Chicago in that one. It was an outright win by 11 points, I think. But let's see. Spread was – I can't find it now. But I still think we're getting a good price with Milwaukee because of
It was
their
9.5.
slow start to the year.
It was
9.5. Yeah, I mean, it's 8.5. So I'll take the point of value.
No value.
There's value.
There's none.
The Bucks don't make lines to lose. I'll tell you that.
I mean, but in the NBA, they're more hard-headed than any other sport. Like, they have the narrative of who their teams are, and they're gonna line them there anyway, and they're just gonna continue to get beat over the head. So it's like, at what point do they start to devalue Milwaukee and Philadelphia? Like, at what point? When does it go back the other way? And I don't know. It's a flip side of the coin. It's a two-sided coin.
Yeah, these are 2 horrible games. I mean, honestly, but
It's probably at the point where they're banking on them just saying, "Oh, they're due. They're not going to play like this forever. They're due." But
where would you put the line if you were an odds maker here?
Me, probably Bucks 5.5.
What about you, Chris?
yeah, I was going to say 5.5, 6.
What about the Cavs game?
Probably where it's at. Probably
That's up to 15.
I would play it up to -20, probably, though. Like,
Wow.
because I think in that Cavs game, that's probably based on purely the eye test this season. That's the number 2 best team in the NBA versus number 30.
Well, the eye test wasn't working yesterday because, I mean, they were very fortunate to get that cover. It was a one-sided affair.
Not necessarily. Boston.
And Darius Garland, he tried his best. He respects Coin, but couldn't get there. We just needed him to take a couple more shots for us.
Good game. That Hail Mary 3 from Donovan Mitchell. Man, that was the one. That was the one, man.
I was watching Wagner versus Boston University. Anyways, which was another haymaker. It's the way it went down. Did you guys do the playback or whatever you call it?
No.
No? Yeah, I went to check to see if you guys were on, but I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see any notification of any kind. Could have done it for that BU Wagner game. Got Memphis taking on Philly. Philly 3-point favorites with no Embiid, right?
Nah, he's playing.
Oh, he's playing. Good. I got the Sixers in that one. Then got the Thunder buddies losing last night to the Spurs. Really a lot more one-sided than this final score said. But favored by a dozen here against Portland. I don't know. I've been on Portland a ton this season. But it's tough for me to back them here. I'm just going to go with the under 223. I think Thunder gave up a lot of points last night. Thunder for me. Or under. Under. Sixers and under. I'm on my game today for the show. Sign up for our email newsletter. Get my dog of the day. Comes out around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a video that I do. It's only available via email. Exclusive. Go to pickdogs.com. I can't even speak. I said .com, man. I'm telling you, I can't even speak straight today. It's one of those mornings, man. I gotta do my Superman, you know.
We had a hoodie under a hoodie.
Doubling down.
Oh, it's a golf shirt. Okay, I thought it was a hoodie under the hoodie. I was like, splash some water in your face.
Seriously, man. Go to pickdogs.com. Sign up for our email list. Get our dog of the day.
It's our new URL.
We'll get Dave Racy saying pickdogs.com.
Oh man.
$5 says I have to do a retake on one of my videos today because I say pickdogs.com.
You're up, Chris. Get me out of here.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Get me the hell out of here. That's what I say at the gym every morning. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do now? It's like, I want to go home. Like, you just got here. I'm like, well, they always say showing up is the hardest part.
Leaving's the easiest. Yeah, I'm with you. The only one I like here is give me the under in OKC Portland. OKC, they win this game by double digits, wouldn't surprise me because they've been doing just that a lot of the season. I mean, look at some of these games: 99-83, 106-88, 102-86, 105-92. So they can win. They can cover this number by double digits and come in under the total. On the other side, Portland, I think they can keep Oklahoma City within reach. But OKC, like you said, on the back-to-back with travel. So under 223.5 for me in that one.
Just a lean for me to the Thunder. I mean, they've just dominated the Blazers in recent years. Some blowout wins already this year, the 137 and 114. I like Portland in terms of I think their rebuild's going well. I mean, they're playing pretty well defensively this year. They're on a nice little win streak, but I think this is just a miserable spot, especially off the Thunder loss last night. I got to go OKC and lay the points.
Thunder buddies for me too. Thunder gonna win this game by like 30. This is the bounce back game at home where they just gonna come and just put belt to ass on Portland. They always beat up on Portland, and Thunder home favorite. I have no problem laying it. I never do, never will. They're my favorite money making team for a reason. Yes, they're off back-to-back L's. I faded them yesterday. I had Spurs as a premium, but I think they are on the back end of a back-to-back with travel, and Portland has been a solid ATS team. I don't think it matters tonight, though. I don't think it matters. Thunder are that good. The Thunder are that good. Don't forget. Like, that's the thing. I think some people forget about certain shit, and they let 1-2 games change the narrative. I don't. You got to kind of just remember who these teams are. And Thunder should take them behind the shed. What was the other one here? The Shark Chaser special today is Philadelphia laying at 3.5. The Shark Chaser special today is Philadelphia laying at 3.5, bro. Sharp Chaser special. The Sharp Chaser special today is the Philadelphia 76ers.
No Zach Edey.
Don't
No
matter.
Ja.
Don't matter.
Embiid.
That doesn't matter.
What matters?
You're laying 3.5 points on the road with the worst record team in the league against a really
that's because
solid
they're
home,
missing their best player most
against
of the
a
time.
really
so they know.
solid home team.
But they know. But the Sixers, man, if they continue to go down this path, their season's going to be over before the end of the in-season tournament.
I much rather be on that notion. Just trust my eyes, trust who they've been, than to try to be like, okay, this is the game. They're going to figure it out.
Can you take those? It's kind of like the Jazz. Can you hold those stats? Would we hold those stats, against them without marketing? Do those stats is that the Jazz without marketing in there? Is it the Pelicans without Zion and McCollum and the other guy, the hand guy that's from it?
I'm just saying, from a value perspective, there's nothing here that tells you Philly. So don't bet Philly until they wake up and show you that they're going to be other than who they've been, which is the worst team in the NBA. You fade them. This is the true definition of overrated and overvalued based on what? One team's 8-7, the other team's 2-11. It's just the truth of the matter. So I'm on Memphis. Memphis has been solid at home. I know they're missing Edey and Morant. And I know they got beat up yesterday at home, but the same team that also has been solid at home in other certain spots. So, hey, I'm just telling y'all right now. The game everybody gonna be crying about tonight is Philadelphia. That's the one. It's the one. I'm on Memphis outright money line. They already smacked them up once this season. I think they smack them up again, this time at home. Just because Maxey called out Embiid and company, I got to see it before I want to get there. So I'm on.
Where would you put this line?
Memphis -2.
Wow, that's 5 points of value for those keeping track at home.
Memphis -2. It's kind of my Philadelphia argument. At what point do we start to value Philadelphia for who they are, not based on projections and last season and all that other shit? At what point are they just the worst team in the league at 2-11? At what point? Come here, bro. This is not Embiid and Paul George first game back. It's not. They've played together and they've lost together.
They've also won together.
The best player on the floor for the 76ers is a rookie.
They're the three best friends that anyone ever had.
I'm just saying, man. Like, in the grand scheme of things, this is how I look at the Sixers. I think Paul George is a glorified Tobias Harris. I mean, that's who he is right now.
Oh, my goodness.
He hasn't been
harsh.
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Look at
so
Tobias.
Far, I don't blame you, but man,
Tobias Harris numbers. Look at Paul George's numbers. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter.
I don't know about that. It's a little too far.
It's the truth of the matter right now. That's what I'm saying. It's the narrative.
He's not scoring, but at least he's doing other things. Tobias Harris he's there for a nice
Harris used to do a lot of other things too. He did. He used to rebound. He used to do all that other shit.
Yeah, he used to just take horrible low percentage shots.
So if you counting on Jared McCain to get y'all there tonight, go right ahead.
I like him. I like him
too. He's the best player on the Sixers. He's been the best player. That's not even close. He's been better than Maxey, better than
Kyle Lowry's out, so that's good.
But I mean, if you're hanging your hat on the rookie to get it done, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, you got to replace that bagel that he threw up last time in 19 minutes, but I don't know. Kyle Lowry, they're really gonna miss that 0-point effort from last game. The big contribution he made. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. Jackson, Wells, Clark, Bane. You've even said it yourself. When Bane has to be the go-to guy, it's not bad for Memphis.
No, it's not. One guy they got rid of because he wasn't worth the money, and then they turned around and gave the max money to this guy who hasn't done anything.
Scottie Pippen.
Comparing them to the guy they replaced them with. That's all I'm doing. That's not felony. That's the truth of the matter.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
They replaced Tobias
Because
Harris with
Pippen
Paul George,
Jr.
and
his
Paul
shooting's
George-
all off because he played at Vandy and the court's like 5-6 feet above the ground. So like
Yeah.
everything's going too high, you know, because he's used to having to shoot it lower because the court's up here. It's tough. It's tough. Paul George,
writing this
Joel Embiid, McCain. They're the three best friends. All right. Fine. You going to the in-season tournament?
in Vegas, probably.
I'm going to be out there. I don't know if I'll be out there for the tournament, though, but I could always extend my trip.
I went last year, so I guess I should keep the tradition alive.
Didn't you just day trip last year? You went in, you left the same day.
Was that the day trip? I forgot.
Yeah, that's commitment.
I think I stayed
Just here for the day, man. Got any bags? Nope. Just here for the day. Just my fanny pack.
I think I stayed one night last time. I think I did stay one night. I don't remember. But yep. Next slot.
We're all in agreement on the Sixers. Next slot. 4 for the Sixers. Got Rockets against the Pacers. Suns against the Knicks. Chris.
I'll take the Rockets laying the points against the Pacers. Still one of the best home favorites in the NBA since the start of last year, 19-8-1 against the number 10-2 when they're laying at least 6. So usually when they're these big favorites, it's for good reason. The Pacers, I still have a hard time trusting this team on the road. So I'll take the Rockets laying the points. And Knicks, Suns. Give me the Knicks. I don't love it, but I can't back the Suns. They're just in free fall right now until they get their guys
You're an
back.
idiot. You know, I say this. I don't
That's
mean
fine.
to be a jerk. But
Well,
you're an idiot.
It's just like when people say no offense when they actually do mean something offensive.
Well, that was the exact lingo I used there. Don't mean to be a jerk, but you suck at this, man.
That's fine. I can't get there with the Suns, so I'm not betting it. But I'm saying if I had to,
So you can't get there with the Suns, but you can get there with the Knicks.
I mean, the Knicks at least have all their guys. The Suns are still missing Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. It's shown. Look at their recent results. I mean, they just lost at home to Orlando by 10. Got crushed by OKC and Sacramento. New York has been overrated, for much of the season, but they've won 3 in a row. Exactly doing this, beating up on teams that are, just not at their best. Washington, they beat Brooklyn twice. Only got the cover in one of them, but
All right. That's enough.
I'm sorry.
You just don't
we
even.
get
I remember anybody say, Ron, what do you think?
We get it.
Did you not eat your 4th hot dog for breakfast? Because it's like you're delirious, man. Someone
That's
take
fine.
away your spray cheese or something.
Oh, that's fine.
I agree with you, Chris. I like the Knicks.
Oh,
it was never more
God.
clear. Never more clear last night that the Knicks are the number 2 team in the East. Thank you very much, Mr. Briggs. And we got to remember that last year, Brunson had one of his best games of the season in Phoenix. He went 9 of 9 from 3-point range, dropped 50 points in a blowout. Knicks win 139-122. I don't think it's going to get that ugly, but I like the Knicks to win this game and cover the number. And I got to go with one of the best home teams in the NBA, the Houston Rockets, and lay the points against the Pacers team. It's been dreadful on the road.
Houston Rockets for me. Houston, we have a problem. The problem is the Rockets just love balling at home, man. It's what are they? 6-2. This is just at home. Period. They're 6-2 this season at home. Against the number, and last season at home they were, what were they? It's not even as favorites. It's just at home. They were 27-13-1. So it's like the Pacers. They've been ass on the road. We just faded them and cashed the other day with them on the road in Toronto. We're going to continue to fade Indiana on the road till they show a sign. And on the flip side, man, I'm on the Phoenix Suns money line plus 170 today. Free meal. Phoenix Suns money line today. Yes, the New York Knicks are playing the better basketball. They come into this game winners of 4 of their last 5, but I'm here to tell you they played absolutely fucking nobody.
There's nobody here.
They played the Philadelphia 76ers. If I just told y'all what they were. They're the worst team record-wise in the NBA. That's what they are. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what they are. The Brooklyn Nets. If the playoffs started today, like, you know what I mean? Like, would you put a playoff ticket right now that the Nets make the playoffs? No, a lot of you would not. They're probably going to be a play-in style team. And then the Wizards, the actual worst team in the league. That's the 4 of the last 5 wins for the Knicks. Hats off to them. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but you ain't played no damn body. Now, let's look at the Suns. Yes, the Suns do come in here on a 4-game losing streak, but who they've played, it matters. Sacramento, on the road. Oklahoma City, on the road. Minnesota, on the road. Orlando, who's the hottest team in basketball outside of Cleveland right now. We'll talk about them in a second. So, hindsight's 2020. All that, you put that together, same thing I've been saying, man. The Knicks are overrated and overvalued. The Suns, they've been balling out at home tonight. Brunson did have a solid game in Phoenix last year, but I think Booker remembers that. I think this is the Booker game. In a vacuum right now, who you taking? Devin Booker or Jalen Brunson? Who you taking?
Brunson.
Fuck no.
And
you're
I'll have you say,
fuck no.
You're also leaving out one very important detail.
Go ahead.
That Orlando game was an Orlando win in Phoenix when previous to that, yeah, they've been the hottest team in the NBA. They won their previous 6 games at home where they've been undefeated.
And Orlando's but that's what I'm saying. Like Orlando's
that says more about who they beat. They beat the Phoenix Suns on the road.
Nah, it says more about Orlando than it does about.
It's way more about Phoenix. And
what I don't get is the fact that the Knicks beat up on the Wizards and the Nets, and we discredit them. But the Cavs, you look at their win-loss record, and you look at their games that they played: the Raptors, the Wizards, the Bucks when they were struggling, the Bulls twice. Oh, they're the second best team, maybe even the best team in the East.
They're the second best.
I love the Cavs. I'm going to lay 15 points with the Cavs.
Because the Cavs, the difference is the Cavs going into last night were what? 15-0. The Knicks up until 2 days ago had a losing record. Like, it's not even
because you're taking care of your weak teams on the schedule. Cavs did the same thing, and we're going to lay 15 points with them. But we can't lay a reasonable number with the Knicks against a banged up and struggling Suns team.
It's 2 totally different things. One team is playing the worst, a tremendously banged up team on the back end of a back-to-back in New Orleans. And the other team is playing a Phoenix Suns team who I think has only lost 1 game or 2 games at home this season. Like, I'm not mad at Phoenix for being banged up and losing 3 games on the road to 3 solid teams: Sacramento, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota.
I'm not mad at them either, but it doesn't mean I want to back them.
I think New York would have lost all 3 of them games as well. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, based on what should New York be favored by 4.5 on the road? Nothing.
Based on the fact that Mason Plumlee's playing 25 minutes a night.
Based on a whole bunch of New York bullshit is why the Knicks are 4.5 point favorites on the road.
You just like Mason Plumlee. You would take Mason Plumlee over Paul George.
I am fading their ass. I'm on Phoenix plus 170 outright money line. The Devin Booker revenge game, man. Devin Booker is going to go crazy.
He's like, oh, last year Brunson put up 50 points.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to got Mason Plumlee and Tyus Jones on my side, and we're going to take them down.
Exactly. Devin Booker sponsored by Icy Hot and Rollbacks for putting the Suns team on his back.
I'm just telling you.
Taking the Suns against the Knicks. The Knicks are, you know what they are against Western Conference teams? Ofer. They suck against the West. All they can beat is against the really crappy teams and the Eastern Conference teams. You put them up against Western Conference teams, you know what they do? Lose. And they lose a lot. And a lot of people lose a lot of money, and they're all the commenters on Jay's video, all the Knick lovers getting their ass kicked in these Western Conference games. Taking the Suns. As a matter of fact, I would take any Western Conference team against the Knicks with the points. You name one. Just throw one out there. Tell me who I would take. We'll play the Jerry Jeudy game. You know, seriously.
My argument, the one I always use, is the Houston Rockets. That's the one I always use, but that's too easy now. I think most people have caught on to that. Let's go the Clippers. Would you take the Clippers or the Knicks?
Clippers.
Low-key, I might.
You mean the Knicks?
Low-key might be with you on the Clippers.
Clippers own Eastern Conference teams, man. It's the opposite. They never lose to the East. They might lose to some of the Western teams. The Clippers never lose to the West, to the East.
Sacramento or New York?
Kings, even on the road.
I think I'm on the Kings too.
Give me the Knicks all day long on that one.
Nah, man.
If these are neutral sites, then yeah, give me the Knicks.
Fuck no.
Let's see. Let's look at the Knicks versus the Eastern Conference, just for kicks.
If the Knicks were in the West,
versus the West,
they wouldn't even make the play-in.
They only played one Western team, and they got their ass kicked. They were 2-point favorites, lost outright.
The Knicks are not better than Sacramento, and so that would keep them on the outside looking in.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They're not even better than Houston, who was on the outside looking in last year.
That one's close.
And that's Houston's improved. That's what I'm saying. And Houston did not make the play-in tournament.
Yeah, but that's a different team now. The Pelicans aren't going to be making anything, so you can take them out of it. They were in there. They're going to be out.
They might make a run if they can get healthy again.
They ain't getting healthy.
McCollum might be back tonight, but
they're not getting healthy.
They're probably not. But yeah, man. I mean, even a healthy Spurs, I don't know if I'm taking over the Knicks, bro. I'm being so 1,000 with y'all right now. I'm being so 1,000. Spurs 7-8 on the season and battling the West. And here go the Knicks battling the weak ass East 8-6. Man, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The difference between
who won the finals last year?
The powers that be are it. Okay, yes, this is how it goes. Boston's the best team in the league, and then the other 15 other teams are in the West.
All right, next, let's go to hockey again. Let's talk about hockey again.
Just tell me out, man.
You gotta like the Suns in this matchup.
Just tell me.
I also like the Rockets against the Pacers. I think that might be the blowout of the night. We got the Warriors against the Hawk Romanelli Wednesday, and we've got the Clippers against an Eastern Conference team, the Orlando Magic. Ron, you're up.
Give me both the Eastern Conference teams. This is now
a
civil war here. I love the Hawks. When are we going to be off the do not bet list here, Jay?
When y'all become profitable, still 6-9 against the number this season.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Last two seasons combined, still by far the worst ATS team in the league.
It's like a repayment loan. You're going to take like 2 years to get back to
the 2-season sample size. They're going to get there. We saw an outright win against the Kings. How about that outright win against the Celtics? How about that one? That was a good one.
That's a good win. It's a good win.
Now they get the outright dub against Golden State. And Magic, got to roll with the Magic here. On a roll. Team Eastern Conference, baby.
I'm with you on the Magic. I'm not fading Orlando right now, bro. You can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. The Magic are a money-making fucking machine. It just is what it is.
Except when they're getting their ass kicked.
They sure didn't get their ass kicked the other day in Phoenix. They did some ass kicking.
Against a different animal here.
I don't know. Phoenix is better than LA as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, well, according to this woman on my Twitter in my DM, who slid into my DM, she says, "We have a lot in common. Can we chat?" The weather is fine. It's time to collect happiness.
Oh, if you like peanut,
I'm intrigued.
This one, I have no reason to fade Orlando. Remember, they were the best money-making team a season ago, and they're starting to show them tendencies again. And when you think of the X's and O's game, where are the Clippers trying to attack from? The perimeter. Who's been their best player thus far? Norman Powell. Well, now look like he out tonight. And James Harden. The Clippers are trying to attack from the perimeter. Like they're not really playing through Zubac down low. Like that's not what they're trying to do. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, they're going up against one of the best perimeter defensive teams in the league in the Orlando Magic. Like that's exactly what Orlando does. Is shut down your guards. And so, yeah, especially without Powell tonight, unless Harden turn back the clock and go vintage 2018 James Harden, I don't see it. I'm on Orlando. Until we have a reason to fade the Magic, we're just not going to do so. And then fuck the Hawks, man. Fuck them. I'm on the Warriors. Shout out the Hawks, though. They are playing better. I did say last Jam Session episode yesterday, we cannot blindly fade Atlanta no more. At first, we just saw them on the schedule and we just took the other side. Now we kind of got to, do a little homework in it. But in this one, the Warriors, I feel like, are head and shoulders the better basketball team. Am I totally in love with it? No, I'm not. No, not really. But would I be surprised if this was a 15-point win when it's all said and done? No, I wouldn't. So it's Golden State for me here. When Atlanta gets on the other side of profitable, I may seriously think about taking them.
They're a profitable dog, I believe.
Are they?
I think so.
Let me see. As underdogs.
Especially money line when you look at that Celtics win. But spread-wise, I think, too.
They're 4-3 as an underdog.
It's called cash money. And the money line is even bigger because of that big Celtics W.
Shout out the Hawks, man.
And what's somebody mentioned in the comments, the Knicks and the Mavs have the same record. So who would you take in that matchup?
The
Mavericks.
The team that was in the finals a season ago?
No, big whoop. Wasn't competitive in the finals.
They went through the gauntlet of the West, though. The Celtics just played nobody. The Celtics played everybody that was injured. The best player for every team that the Celtics played was hurt last season. I think people forget that, except for the finals. Halliburton got hurt in the Western. Jimmy didn't play in the Heat series. And then who was the other one? Was it Cleveland?
I think so.
I think Donovan Mitchell ended up getting hurt. So, oh well. Shout out my Mavs, man. Covered 3 straight, man. Mavs off the DNB, covered 3 straight. You know what I mean? Shout out them boys.
They get off the DNB quickly, but the Hawks have to work and,
Yeah.
That's whatever.
The situation, it lined up for the Mavs. So we put them on there, and then they covered while they were on the DNB. So the next game was if you win and cover in this spot, you come off the DNB, and they did that. And then the next game off the DNB, they covered again. So that's how you get off.
There's a double standard here with the DNB.
That's how it's done.
We're done trying to impress you.
Shout out the Hawks, man. Number 1 team on the list. Just a refresher. Hawks, Pelicans, Jazz, Bucks. 4 teams right now currently on the list.
I like the Jazz. Anyways, I like the Clippers also in this one. I think it's easy money. Orlando's just overrated crap, as they have been for several years at this point. Yeah, it's just the world loves the Magic. Oh, they covered a bunch of games last year.
We love the Magic, man.
Yeah, last year we cashed a lot on them. You know what we've done this year? Fade their ass. I'm taking the Clippers. Easy money line.
5 straight. Outright. We've covered 5 straight.
Exactly. Money line Clippers. Easy. Too obvious. And, of course, Warriors all day against the Hawks. I mean, that's just stupid. Warriors coming off the loss. Yeah. Gonna be mad. See, the thing of the problem that the Romanellis have in this one is that they give up a ton of threes. They're 30th in the NBA in 3-pointers shot against them, 30th in the NBA in 3-pointers made against them. and 30th in the NBA in 3-point shooting against them. And the Warriors have this guy named Steph Curry, who probably might score 85 points in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 15 plus threes in this game, because the Hawks are that bad at guarding the perimeter. They're that bad. They're the worst that there is. 30th in shots against, 30th in shots finding the bottom of the net, 30th in shooting percentage against. I mean, 40% of the threes against the Hawks go in. I mean, that's a better percentage than, like, I don't know, a lot of teams shoot it, It's like, what's the Hawks shooting percentage from beyond there? 35.1%. So they only hit 35% of their shots, and they allow 40% to go in, up against a team that almost exclusively shoots the three. This is a bad day at the office, man. This is one of those 160-point games. This is going to be one ugly bitch. This reminds me a lot of that Rockets Bulls game the other night.
I'm interested to see what the line is tomorrow on Utah, because tomorrow's Utah's coming off the list game. If they play the Spurs, depending on what that line look like, they win, they off the list. And then their next game is a very profitable spot for them at home, at the crib. But guess who coming in? It might be play of the day that day. They gotta come through tomorrow, though. They come through tomorrow, then play of the day on their next game, which will be Tuesday. Will be at home, Knicks. At the crib, with the fucking Knicks rolling in.
Oh, nice. I like the Jazz in that one.
Me too.
The Jazz. Thanksgiving week. Everyone knows the Knicks play like shit in Thanksgiving week.
So Jazz might be coming off the list here soon.
Yeah, I mean, the Jazz
earned their way on the list because they weren't the team they were from season last year. I love the Jazz. That's the sick part of it. I love the Jazz.
They do have the double tall white guy angle going for Jay there, Markin and Fowski.
I love the Jazz.
So, and it's like you get the center back in there, that Walker Kessler. You got 3 tall white guys in one lineup. I mean, that's a circle lineup for Jay.
Shout out to Jazz, man.
It's like the Jazz and BYU. It's like they look the same. All white guys.
Man. Throw me some Wisconsin basketball in there too, man. Now we cooking.
Didn't Kohler leave the guy? What's his name? The guy from the Wisconsin. The guy was there like forever. Tyler Cole or whatever. What was his name?
Kolek was with Marquette.
No, it was like something else. The guy who was like
Wall?
Wall.
Wall, yeah.
Yes. Casper.
Casper the Friendly Badger.
What's whiter? BYU's basketball team or Ruffalo's belly? Oh my God. I'm white as a sheet, man. I'll tell you that much. I don't even get in the hot tub until after the sun goes down.
I get a moonburn.
Chris, who are you taking in the slot?
I'll go with the Warriors. I'll take the under in Clippers Magic. That's going to be like 1990s basketball, first to 100 wins if you even get there. It's just huge emphasis on defense in that game. So give me the under.
All right. Parlay time.
Parlay.
Parlay. What's it going to be?
I'll go with the Thunder. Go with Mount St. Mary's and Rutgers.
Give me the Hawks plus the points, the Knicks laying the points, and the Bucks laying the points. Anti-J parlay.
Anti-J parlay. That's what that is. I'm gonna go. Let's go two-teamer. We're just gonna go Suns money line, Grizzlies money line, two-teamer.
I'll take Nickel State money line, Stony Brook money line, Chicago Bulls money line, Clippers money line, 100-1 on your money, or 103-1 on your money. Why not? Sounds reasonable to me, especially when you got to fade the Magic in there. That'll be the cherry on top. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It was special. Thanks, Jay, for getting out of bed for us. Made it.
I was on the couch. That's what makes it even funnier. Like, I wasn't even in the bed. I was on the couch.
Mario only got a handful of games usually on Thursdays for the jam session. So easy.
You want me to do it tonight?
Friday, the games are probably already out, the lines, right? For Friday. Isn't the tournament again on Friday?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the line's already out. Philly 7.5 over Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Wizards plus 15. Pels plus 8 versus the Warriors.
Orlando or Golden State.
Bucks -4 versus Pacers.
That's a tough one because Pacers shit on the road and we not laying points with Milwaukee.
Then you
Hawks
got
on the road. Rockets laying 10. Nuggets. Oh, shit. Dallas in Denver. Oh, shit. That's a tough one. The Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, but Dallas also the best road ATS team.
But Dallas is my favorite team.
Oh, my God.
I love my Mavs. Mediocre Mavs.
wow.
Any other team you
Wow.
say, Nuggets, stupid, dummy, crazy. We can't go against them at home, but it's like, but Dallas, those Mavericks.
On the road, man. I love them.
Oh, my God.
We'll see. We'll see if Jokic even playing there. He probably back for that game though. Playing his buddy. They're at home, so his wife probably there. And on the road. Should be
All
fun.
right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It's been special. New show time is 11 a.m. Eastern time. Kind of makes me just very hungry by the end.
See you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you later.